Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video, which is going to be a kind of low vibration chatty get ready with me. Cheering myself up, creating this makeup look of the day before I start to do my eye look. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me just say, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. If you want to pray for me, if you believe in that, I would appreciate that. But, you know, this is more of just like a slightly venting video. I'm not looking for sympathy, you know, I just maybe a little understanding, but not some sympathy. Anyway, okay. And just so you can probably tell I am feeling in a better, chipper mood now that I have played with some makeup. So filming this video did exactly what I needed it to do. So thank you so much to you who is here watching and hanging out with me and making me a part of your life. It really does mean so much to me. You have no idea. All right, let's get into today's chatty get ready with me. I'm about to film with a new palette. Where is the palette? Okay. Today I am going to be just throwing my makeup on for the day. I am feeling pretty low and I want to pick myself up. So I'm still getting over the COVID virus. So if you hear me all like sounding congested and stuff, that's probably going to linger for another couple of weeks is my guess. Anyway, yeah, so I'm using a bunch of my Shop My Stash for the last time because I realized it's been like three weeks since I did a Shop My Stash, and a lot of that is because I did get so sick that I wasn't able to do much of anything. But starting off, good Lord, how do we believe this? Okay, so you might be able to gather by the vibe I'm giving off, but I'm feeling rather low. I didn't sleep much at all last night for no fun reason at all. And so I'm going to try to pick myself up and make myself look presentable. Let me just get a move on it. I'm going to do a real quick base face. I'm loving this Danessa Myricks thing. I am so glad I ended up pulling it out of the declutter after considering it for a while. I highly suggest you do that when you declutter your items, unless you know that you really don't like the product. You know what I mean? If it's something that you're just a little unsure of and you're just going to go ahead and declutter it because you're trying to curate your collection to your faves and you've decided that you don't want to try a product or something like that, or you've only tried something once or twice, if the product is living rent-free in your mind, like this one was for me, I'm going to recommend that you consider not actually getting it like out of your reach before you give it a chance to see whether or not you change your mind about decluttering it. And that goes not only just for like makeup, but for pretty much all things that you declutter. I always leave a very nice like purgatory period, for lack of a better word, to where, you know, if you have any thoughts kind of regretting the fact that like maybe you go looking for an item and then you remember, oh, I decluttered it, and that's like the only item out of all the things that you decluttered that you go to actually look for. If you go and you look for it, then I would go and pull that out of the declutter pile if it's something that really matters to you. Okay, so today I am going to be trying a new combination of products. I'm really excited. I have been loving this. I've been using this already a handful of times, and I think as soon as I run out of this, or before I run out of this, I'm going to pick up a full size of this because I don't want to be without it. And I think I'm going to also pick up one of the tinted ones because I'm going to try one as a foundation as well. But I do want to pick up the large one as a primer for when I use my other foundations while I'm using those up. I might not pick, hold on. Yeah, that just sounded silly. I'm not going to pick one of these up in the foundations yet until I go through some of my foundations. So it's like on an extended wish list. But today I'm going to try that product with my About Face, and I feel like this is going to help give this foundation formula a little bit more like, I don't want to say dewy, but just like, it's not quite as much of a quick, like, I think it'll help with extending a little bit of the dry time, you know, so it doesn't dry down quite as fast, and helping it just look a little bit more like skin instead of like a full coverage foundation. Also, because it's so hard to blend out one swipe on a cheek without a really good like slippery primer underneath, I feel like when I use my About Face foundation, foundations, I am inclined to want to use several swipes just because I know it's harder to blend. But when you go over a like a kind of glowy base, it really does help the product just blend out and move easier. So I can use a lot less of the product and have it look a little bit more like a medium to light type of a coverage as opposed to a super, super heavy coverage. But this that's hard to say. This About Face foundation is very buildable, and I love that a whole lot. And I especially love the undertones of this foundation. So yeah, I really, really have been enjoying it. Like, Halsey really did her brand right. Like, it's very different and unique. And it's not just another celebrity brand on the market. It is definitely filling a gap in the industry, especially for people who struggle to get their foundations matched to their undertone, because, you know, sometimes foundations are either too orange, too yellow, or too pink, and they're never quite olive enough. And so, yeah, Halsey really did that with this About Face foundation, and I just love that so much, not only for her and her brand, but for me as the consumer and for everybody else who, again, has been struggling with foundation matches. Okay, so I do like that I can go in a lot more lightweight with the About Face foundation, and maybe I won't have to set this foundation as much because of the fact that it is more of a matte coverage. So I'm going to give that just a moment to settle in while I go in with some concealer. I am using my Christian Dior concealer that I have from my Shop My Stash. As you can see, it's been in several projects. Before I continue further, let me put a little bit of lip balm on. You guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have lost some weight. All of my chins are gone. Like, I only have the one that's attached to my actual face, and like, my cheeks are not as pudgy as they used to be, and I'm back into all of like my older clothes from back when I used to work in an office, and I kept myself super, super trim. Yeah, I didn't think I would be this small again in my life, because I had no intention of trying to be. I was quite happy with myself with a little bit of extra weight on me, believe it or not. But yeah, these stomach issues that I've been encountering are not letting me eat food. And no, it's not a side product of any kind of medication or anything like that, because I don't take medications. I'm not one of those prescription type of people. Like, I don't do that, you know. Like, I better be literally on the verge of death, and even then, I'm not just going to take a prescription because it's handed to me. I'm going to research the mess out of it and find out, you know, what it is that I need to weigh the pros and cons. And more often than not, I just take my chances with whatever it is that my body's going to do. Now, if we're talking about something super, super serious that I haven't encountered yet, obviously, you know, I might choose the medicated route if necessary. But for what I'm going through right now, there is no like actual treatment that I've been able to come up with yet. Of course, I'm still in the identifying stages, and I have to wait until I can get to my imaging appointment for some scans. So I've been having to literally just like suffer through it while I'm waiting. And that basically consists of avoiding all the foods that don't sit right with my stomach, which is pretty much every single thing that I've tried to eat now. There's nothing left. I can have plain chicken with no seasonings. Like I can have salt and pepper, but like I can't have any like herbs, no green leaves of any kind. I can't eat vegetables. Can't have fruit. Can't have fried foods. Can't have carbs. No legumes. No nightshade family foods. Certainly can't have a salad or anything that goes into it. Can't have most seeds or nuts. Can't have eggs. I can't have any dairy. I can eat the smallest amount of raw cheese, grass-fed, if it's got like all the natural enzymes in it. But other than that, there's not a whole lot that I can eat. And I've been really hungry, to say the least. So I tried to eat a meal yesterday, one that was part of my safe foods, and it didn't go down very well for me, needless to say. All right, so am I going to set the rest of my face? I think I'm gonna wait a minute before I set my face with the Huda Beauty, because I want to see if the About Face foundation, I want to see if this foundation will set over this primer without me having to powder it down. I did powder my concealer under the eyes, and while my foundation is trying to give it a moment to set, because I want to see what this base underneath will be like. See, I've got just a couple of little bald spots starting to come up because of the nutritional deficiencies that I'm experiencing since I can't eat. I mean, technically I can eat the food. What I can't do is digest it. So like if I was to just eat the food and then take it right back out, I guess I could eat it that way, but that's not really my thing. And I don't advise that for anybody because that's very unhealthy on so many levels. That's an actual ED, and I don't want to go through that. However, my body is kind of forcing me through that because more than half the time I try to eat something, I end up 3 to 4 hours after ingesting it, my body violently sends out whatever is left in my stomach that it was trying to digest but couldn't. Yeah, and so I recently found out that there's a huge national trend, hashtag hot girls have IBS. And apparently I'm part of that club. Fun times for me. So anyways, yeah, trying to stay alive because I've got a very severe case. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this blush that I've never used yet from the Sephora collection that I got. Sorry, I just like tried to adjust my weight, that I picked up before they disappeared from the Sephora website. This is the shade Poppy. I believe this is made in France, and I've never tried it before. So since I've never used it before, I don't want to use a dirty blush brush because I want to see what it will look like on its own. I've only used this brush here for powder, so I'm going to go ahead and just wipe that off a little bit, and then just use it for this. This is too big. What am I talking about? Hold on. Typically, I would use this brush here with my cream bronzers, but it is just like a general powder brush, and I can use it for a major, like a massive sized blush. Let's go ahead and try it since I have it clean. I haven't used it with anything since I washed it. First touch. Ooh, look at that pretty color. Okay, I do feel like my makeup is a little bit tacky, so I probably should have set the foundation before I went in with powder, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use the actual blush to set the cheek area, and then I will apply some more once I go over my face with some powder. And then I'm gonna just flip the brush over to the clean side and try to just kind of blend that out a little bit. Okay, so that does look like a really, really pretty color. I want to just buff it in with a clean brush. Ooh, that's nice. I do like that color a lot. You can like tame it down or build it up. It looks really beautiful, and it's a really, really nice tone with my skin tone. Like it's a really nice combination of shades with my skin tone. I feel like I did get a little bit of both of the shades because I just went straight in the middle. I wasn't like being meticulous about where I let it land. Okay, today I'm going to be using the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder again, but this time I want to try it with my big giant bronzer brush. I said that weird. Anyway, I've been using this brush with different bronzers and checking it out. So I'm going to go to the clean side. See how I've got like my KVD face palette on this side. I'm going to go to the clean side and just pick up some of this bronzer. Let's see how this looks. I love this big giant bronzer brush so much. I can't believe I thought I was only going to use it for powder. Like, no, it is beautiful with bronzer. Really just so soft. Oh, I forgot to close my eye. So soft and diffuses the powders so nicely on the cheek. It's really a lovely bronzer brush. Highly, highly recommend, especially if you wait for a Sephora sale. Now I feel like I do need to wash this brush because I don't know, I don't like to mix my bronzers from one to the next. So, all right, I'm gonna just take that BK Beauty brush with nothing on it again and just buff out the face. Oh. I'm gonna set my brows. Did I draw them in? I think I did while I was talking to you. I really don't know. I'm kind of just like going through the motions because again, I'm feeling a little sleep deprived and zombified right now. And I'm pretty hungry and yeah. So I've got to try to accomplish whatever it is that I'm going to accomplish in the brief window of time that I have today before I break down and try to eat something, because once I eat something, my day ends for about 8 hours until I can crawl back out from under the rock that I'm wishing death upon myself from and try to be a person again once my digestion tract has like cleared whatever it's trying to get through. Anyway, so I'm going to try this Bobbi Brown beautiful highlighter that I've wanted since it released, but if I remember correctly, it was pretty pricey. I think it was like 40 something bucks maybe, or 30 something dollars. I don't know. It was way too expensive, whatever they wanted retail at normal stores. So I am so glad that I found this at the cosmetics company store and that I picked it up that day when I was supposed to be doing back to school clothes shopping for my child. I ended up finding this highlighter instead. Anyway, so I'm going to use the clean side of my Sephora highlighter brush, and ooh, did I even photograph this beauty? I don't think I did. I'm kind of over the whole trying to photograph my stuff for Instagram anymore, just because, like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the 30 people that interact with my posts, but you know, like it used to be hundreds back before Instagram changed the way that it operated and everybody turned UGC and normal people went away. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just in a foul mood, so I'm not trying to go off on that tangent. Anyway, all right, so here is my base makeup of the day. I do want to, contour. I almost forgot one of my new favorite steps. How could I do that? Oh, my stomach is growling so loud. I am so hungry. I wish I could eat food. I really do. I would give anything right now to have some eggs on toast, a really crunchy toast with some butter and some fresh organic field greens, and like lettuce of any kind would make me so happy right now. I miss food so much. I loved eating. I loved eating. I also miss cooking now too, because since I can't eat all of these foods, I basically like don't want to sit there and cook and torture myself looking at all the things that I can't have and then hand it over for other people to enjoy that I can't have any of it, you know? Like I did that for a little while, but like I've been dealing with this now for going on a year now. Like I'm at like 11 months in now. So like it's gotten old. I'm at a new phase of it mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally struggling to maintain the will to stay alive. So yeah, makeup is a big part of helping me with that. So thank you so much for being here and watching my videos, because like literally you're my lifeline. You're like my only friend, or my only feels like a friend in this world right now. Okay, I'm gonna stop feeling sorry for myself. I apologize. Okay, all right. Anyway, I'm taking off most of the lip balm now, just kind of like blurring it in. And I'm going to use my KVD. I'm going to wear my KVD Queen of Poisons liquid liner, which I really should put on with an enlarged mirror so I can see what the heck I'm doing. So one moment. There is the look. So that's the base face of the day. If you would like to see what the eye look is going to turn out like, be sure to check down below in the description box. I will be sure to link that correlating video down below, and I'll go ahead and link that up here in the eye, as well as at the end of this video once that video goes live, or it might actually go up before this part. I'm not sure. Anyways, some of my videos don't go like... My videos don't go live on my channel in consecutive order sometimes. Sometimes I have things pre-filmed. Other times I have like new releases that have to jump in front of scheduled content. So sometimes things are filmed, like sometimes you see videos on my channel a little bit out of time sequence order, but that's neither here nor there. So, all right. If you enjoyed hanging out with me today, I would love it if you would take a moment to click the like button, or if you dislike anything that I had to say throughout the video today, I totally get that. Click the dislike button if that's how you feel about it, because I certainly dislike what I'm going through, as for sure. Anyway, if you do want to like the video though, just to make me feel better, that would be great. I would love for you to like the video. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. I don't normally sound like this. My voice is hoarse and I'm just getting over a severe illness, so my voice will probably be back to normal within the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Anyway, make sure you're subscribed before you go. Click the notification bell to all so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!